My guess, trust me, the grown-ups are going to talk, but my prediction is they're going to want to hear from you more than the stuff we have to say. But so as soon as we do our boring talk, then I know anything about the media, they're going to want to hear from you. So you will get your time at this podium. Don't worry. So wait, make sure that Tony's doing okay.
Dude,
Okay.
stop, bro. Stop.
This is pretty
Quit cussing.
Everyone's set except for one of us. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I'll get the go-ahead from.
Start with Fox News. They the best.
They're kind of fun. They and this is Fox.
Say the statistics regarding no incidents.
I'm gonna. Yeah, but you'll probably be able to expand it a little better.
Okay, what are the numbers? So I know.
No, it's okay.
One right there.
Are we all set?
All
set. Okay. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here for what I think is a very an important news conference, an important announcement, and an example of something that went right this summer, something that is going right because of community partners and coordination. So let me go back about 8 weeks and tell you the history of what brought us to where we are today. About 8 weeks ago, it was early June, when we opened the city's pools. There was one incident. Actually, it happened to be at this pool, though it could have been anywhere. But it was at this pool that a young person came to the pool with a gun and came in and wanted to gain access and entry into Roosevelt Pool, and our lifeguard stopped that from happening and called the police, and the issue was resolved, and there was no incident with the gun. No one was injured. It wasn't discharged, and everyone went about their day. But that incident alone, the fact that someone tried to come in with a gun, was enough for those of us at City Hall to give some serious thought about how we could make sure that our pools were the safest place that kids could be this summer. And we put together a plan that has worked. And part of what we're doing today is celebrating a plan that worked, recognizing the folks who helped make it work, and announcing the continuation of something that worked. Because while we do know that just like so many cities in our country, unfortunately, we have seen a spike in violence in parts of Toledo. It is the case that our pools have been the safest place kids have been, could be this year. They have been safe places for fun and activity as we intended. And after that one incident, within the first week or so of us opening the pools, we developed the program that I'm about to describe to you. And since then, there have been nothing. There's been no incidents, nothing. Not, I believe the date since June 17th, there have been not a single incident that the police have had to respond to. And that's a real success story. And maybe it doesn't get a lot of attention. Maybe it flies under the radar screen. But our pools are a success story this year for a lot of reasons. For how long they've been open, for the fact that we're able to hire local folks to be lifeguards, and actually, at the first sense that there was a potential problem, the network we put together to solve the problem. So what do we do? After that one incident, I talked to Chief Kroll, and we knew that part of what we had to do was a public safety response and a policing response. And so, yes, it's true. Chief Kroll redoubled his efforts and began assigning community resource officers and others to more frequently patrol the pools and spend some time here. And that certainly has been helpful. But we did something else, though. We have a newly created Mayor's Initiative to Reduce Gun Violence. Everyone knows the director standing behind me, Johann Armour. We sat down with him and talked to him, and also talked to the HRC and said, let's, beyond a few extra police patrols, let's get creative. What can we do to make sure that pools are safe and that there are no more incidents, zero negative incidents at these pools? And we're going to hear from Johann, and he's going to talk about the partnership he brought together. But essentially, what he did and what his office did, working with the HRC, was to go out and recruit a team of volunteers. They come from a number of different organizations. The biggest one, as you could probably imagine, are the motorcycle clubs in Toledo. It was not a requirement to be a part of this effort, but it just turned out to be that the organization that has contributed more to this than any others are some of the motorcycle clubs in town. Other African American social clubs, whether they're fraternal organizations or civic organizations, have all come together and formed, what do we call it again?
Our community volunteers.
A volunteer group called Our Community. And so individually, they may be a part of a motorcycle club, or individually they may be in a fraternal organization or a church group, but when they're here together, they're called Our Community Volunteers. And Our Community Volunteers have been at every one of our pools every minute of every day that these pools have been open since June 17th. Every minute of every day. They are volunteers, have not been paid at all. They're here because they love their city, they love kids, and they want to see them have positive experiences. So they have not done anything other than establish a positive presence. I think just them being at the pools with their t-shirts and their presence has had the desired effect. They also have been passing out food and snacks to the kids at the pools. I'm told as soon as I'm done yapping, they're going to be passing out pizza to these kids. You're going to wonder, well, where did the budget from that come from? That's part of the city. That's on our dime. The Mayor's Initiative to Reduce Gun Violence has a budget, and part of that was making sure that we had food at the pools. But our community volunteers are the ones who are passing that out. So just, again, there's no role that they play. There's no patrolling. They're just there. They're just there, spending their free time on their own, making sure kids have had a positive time, deterring the more negative things that could happen here, passing out snacks, or in today's case, pizza. And it's just a wonderful demonstration of what this city can be when it's at its best. Toledo is a family, and I think that's why Toledo works. And families come together and help one another. And these volunteers, you see the folks in the t-shirts and folks with the motorcycles, no one's paying them to do this. But every minute that our pools have been open since we started this initiative, they've been there providing the presence that has caused not one singular call for service at our pools. And that's a success story. And we're proud of it, and we're ready to, and I just went, so our intention, frankly, was for this partnership, kind of come to an end at the end of July. It's gone so well, and they're interested in continue. We're going to continue this on until the end of the pool season. So we're going to extend this program, just frankly because it's worked so well, and it speaks to the best of what Toledo can be. I'm really proud of the story we have to tell here. I'm proud of the folks who've made this happen, and I'd like to turn it over to Johann Armour, the director of the Mayor's Initiative to Reduce Gun Violence, so he can talk a little bit more about how this success story came to be. Is that okay?
Yep, thank you, Mayor. So first, the goal of this program was just for individuals from the community to be visible and available for the kids while they're in the parks. There's no responsibility for individuals of this group to stop any violence, to come in between any kind of altercations. But the goal of this was just to be positive and present and be vigilant for our kids. You know, they see the bull every morning when they come outside the door, but it's amazing to see individuals from the community that look like you, have shared experience, come from similar backgrounds, who have found passions in things like motorcycles, horseback. Corvette Club started participating, and so it's just awesome to see that commitment from community members to stand up and be vigilant and visible for our kids. And because it is a fact, whenever you interject positivity into environment, it kind of deters the BS, if you will. So I just want to take this time and thank some of the groups that have participated in this process. It's amazing to me how well it's worked out, and I'm tremendously thank you for these individuals and these groups that are participating. So we have the Sidekicks, Wolfpack, Ladies in Traffic, Night Riders, Phantoms, New Force, Ohio Players, Homeboys, Incredibles, Wild Bunch, Coming Hot, and Mr. Miller, who is an independent writer. But I want to send a special thanks to Envious, the ladies of Envious, because they are the ones who help coordinate this. So for, not to mention, we have Q's, my cousin Brandon Armour over there. We have the Q's that participate, and we have a number of community organizations. Again, the Corvette Club has been outstanding, willing to participate. The Horsemen will be participating next week. And so, you know, it's available. The sign-up sheet isn't out there, but before other individuals from the community sign up, the motorcycle clubs kind of fill those spaces, you know. So if you are interested in participating, I would suggest you do it as soon as possible. The kids seem to enjoy it. The managers at the pools, because of the need, are often younger. You know, Joey, the manager at Roosevelt, is 20 years old. Now he's able to manage his staff, manage the kids at the pool, and try to manage the community when he deals with issues. So being able to know, for him to be able to know that he's supported, goes a long way. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish, and that's what we are accomplishing, and we continue to grow and identify and develop programs to service from individuals from the community to serve our community. So with that, I believe, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Armour. I just want to, on behalf of the Parks Division, to thank all of these fabulous volunteers for the commitment they've made to the community this year. It goes without saying that when someone from your neighborhood walks down the street and has something to say to a child, they listen. You know, when I go into my neighborhood, the kids listen. When you walk through this neighborhood, they listen to you because you have credibility, you have relationships with these kids, and they respect you. And I think that that's a very powerful equation. We are hopeful. I guess my dream is that our parks eventually become sacred spaces where people come and can feel safe and have fun. They can learn and they can grow, and that all these fine kids grow up to be stewards of these parks, so that it is a sacred space. And the only way we can do that is if everybody in the community has done exactly what has happened this summer, as they embrace these parks and this pool as their community and their pool, and they are partners with us in helping us keep it safe and fun. So I thank you very much, all of you, and I hand it over to Dr. Whitman.
Thank you. Thank you. For council, I also want to say thank you. This is what true public service, this is what true community service looks like. At the beginning of the summer, we kicked off the funding for our youth. One of the things that I said that we wanted our young people to have fun. We want them to have educational opportunities, but also we want them to connect with adults who can make a positive influence on our lives. So thank you so much for being there and stepping up. I also want to say, as a council, we are truly committed to continue to fund efforts to extend pool hours, and also as we look towards the future to continue youth funding. these partnerships is what we need to reduce gun violence in our community. I know this is just one part of it, but this is a big part of it. So thank you all for your time and your effort. We truly appreciate it. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor.
Yeah, I'm glad that Councilwoman Whitman is here because what we were able to do this summer, and again, passing the largest youth rec and summer job program in the history of the city of Toledo, more youth programming this year than ever before in the history of the city of Toledo. That would not have been possible without Councilwoman Whitman and her colleagues on city council. In conclusion, I guess sort of as a summary, individually, the folks behind me in t-shirts, you know, maybe they're part of a Corvette club, car club, maybe they're part of a motorcycle club, maybe they're in a fraternal organization or church group, who knows. But when they come together like this, they're part of our community, our community volunteer corps, and they've just done, I'm just so proud of the job they've done. And I'll end with this. Whenever you're faced with a daunting challenge, whatever it is, it could be overwhelming if you look at it in its totality. Let's say we're talking about blight and fighting blight. That can be an overwhelming problem. So what you need to do is celebrate those small victories. So here's a vacant, abandoned, blighted drug house, let's say, and let's say we're able to demolish it. That doesn't eliminate the problem of blight in the neighborhood, but darn it, it's a success. It's a step in the right direction, and we should celebrate it. Likewise, everyone knows what's going on in this country right now with violence. Everyone does, and it can be daunting and overwhelming if you let it. That's why we are going to pause and celebrate our victories, even our little victories, even if it's just one victory and one step in the right direction. This program, this response to one negative incident, fortunately could have been a lot worse, but our response to that incident, it was a success story. It's a step in the right direction, and we're going to celebrate these successes because that is how you solve the bigger problems, one success story at a time. So there's a lot of people to be thanked, a lot of great Toledoans here, and I know you're sick of me talking. So I don't know. I guess if there's questions, we could answer questions either in a group or one-on-one, or if you want to hear from some of the volunteers or some of the kids. The official part is over, and I guess we'll just turn it over to questions.
Can you talk about how having these programs is great, but obviously there's a lot of one-on-one mentoring going on. Talk about the impact maybe one-on-one mentoring could have on all these kids.
Is there someone, I mean, I could do that, but is there someone, one of our community volunteers who wants to talk about your experience? And maybe who?
The homeboy's president.
No, my daughter will do it for me.
Okay. The question is, if you would talk about, kind of mentoring and, what your experience has been like working with these little young people.
Well, okay, so hi, I'm Celia. I'm with the Homeboys. We're a newer club. We do strictly charity, and we try to support, as many people as we can. But I know my first experience out at the park, I had one of the kids come up to me, and he noticed that all the bike clubs were out there, and the first thing he asked me was, "Are you guys all together? You guys all get along?" And it just kind of made me think, like, wow, these kids really, that's kind of what they have stuck in their mind. So I think with us being able to come together and different clubs from different communities, and we can show them, if we can do it, you guys can do it too. A lot of our kids are out here, getting killed and getting hurt, and just hopefully something like this can bring some kind of peace. And so I think it makes a big difference, even if it's one child, it's anything, so.
Any other questions for the large group? I'm sorry. Anyone of you younger folks want to say something? Now's your chance. I promised there'd be a chance. He raised his hand first.
I forgot.
You forgot. All right. Well, then here, you got these.
Hi, Black Mike.
What's that?
Oh my God.
All right. Anything you want to say anything about your time at the pool this summer? Have you noticed these folks in the black t-shirts? Have they been nice?
Yeah.
Giving you food and stuff? Okay, you ready?
Go ahead.
That's all right.
They be nice.
Well, tell the TV. They've been nice.
Hi, Fox News.
Oh my God.
Well, there's all the other channels are going to be mad at you now. All right. Anyone have anything? If you don't have anything, we can wrap up. But you seem so excited about the microphone. You got someone? Who does?
He do.
He just wanted to talk about the benefit of it, and I think for us, as we talk Competition Corvette Club Toledo, part of the mentoring is teaching. And whether it's teaching once you hand out something, whether it's saying thank you or maybe stuff they don't hear every single day. I know I just as well working in the schools. I see most of these kids all the time anyway. So in the summertime, when you get to interact with them outside of a boxing environment and you can really talk one-on-one with them, I think it's more helpful because all of us as adults, we have separate life lessons and we can pass them out to each one of them. So when Johann asked us, and I know all of these groups the same, it gave us all the opportunity to step out and give a little piece of ourselves, our world, and to be able to do some mentoring and teaching on a different level. So, I mean, that's what helped us. But we just appreciate Johann even just sticking his hand out and offering that olive branch, because coming out and running around, I know it's not just a job for him. It's not that. It's just part of who he is and where he's come from. And if you ever listen to his story, I mean it'll motivate you to get out here. So we thank you for even extending it and asking us to come out and do it.
Appreciate that. We do have one more community volunteer who'd like to speak, and then I think we can do one-on-ones.
Hello, I'm Tiffany with Envious Writers, and I just want to say this has been an extraordinary opportunity for all of us, and I believe I can speak for the MC community as well. Just a chance to attempt to deter some of the gun violence, to giving the kids a positive example, also showing them that there's something else other than what they might see in the community. In motorcycles, you go from riding to fabricating to engines, all that. So just giving the kids something else they can look forward to, maybe get into later on in life. And also, personally, I've enjoyed being out here with them, playing in the pool, basketball, you name it. We've been out here. I've got back in touch with my young side, so I definitely appreciate that. But again, Johann, thank you for bringing this to us. We look forward to continuing to do this, and I think that's it for me.
Thank you.
So how many pools are there volunteer groups at each pool every day? And
Yes.
how long is it going to last? And is there like a sign-up sheet? How does it work?
The answer is yes. They've been at every pool every day during every minute that it's been open. They are going to continue through the end of the pool season, which I think on an everyday basis goes to August 13th. Now, that's every 7 days a week. I think the pools are going to, there'll be 2 days a week the pools will stay open through Labor Day, but at that point kids are getting back to school and whatnot. Now, the only part of that answer I didn't know is logistically how people sign up for it. I don't know how you sign people up for this, but no, every pool, every minute of the day.
So there's a sign-up sheet present. It currently is on the Toledo site. It can be added to the Toledo site. Mayor's Facebook page. I sent it out personally to the individuals that you see here, and those that attended when I first came up with this. Those that wanted to participate, and these are the individuals that wanted to participate. They were identified, so we got them in action as soon as possible. But we will additionally add that sign-up sheet to the mayor's page, and anybody who is interested, you're definitely welcome. But just know that it is it's a process, and these guys, they make it fun. They make it fun engaging kids, because sometimes the most thing is that for young people is to know that they're not alone. So you have guys and it extends far past the pools. We have basketball courts out here. So I know Head from the Wolfpack. If he sees a kid playing basketball, he's going over there. If he sees any kid by himself, he's going to engage him. And so we had a couple parents not be aware prior to us having the shirts, and they're concerned, like, who are these guys playing with our kids? And but once they understood the message and what we're trying to attempt, they were very supportive of it. And so the community has been definitely receptive to what we're trying to accomplish. And so we're going to continue this process and looking forward to how we can assist in other areas once the fall hits and school starts. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
talk to you guys while you guys are enjoying